Disclaimer, this modification will cause a check engine light for the EVAP system. I will post a video on how to fix this soon. What's going on, guys? In today's video, I'm going to show you how to get a little bit more noise out of your turbo. It won't really add too much performance or anything, but it is the turbo muffler delete. The tools you will need for this process are a T30, T27, and T25 Torx, a 7mm socket, a flathead screwdriver, and a pair of pliers. So first you're going to start by removing the intake. I already kind of got this off a little bit. It's just one clamp right here and then a bunch of T25 Torx bits. And once you have that off, then you need to pop this hose up here and remove these two T25s. Until they release. They don't have to fully come out of it, but this part here, there's a little clip. You unclip it, it comes out just like so. And then this here. Remove the T25 and set it on the place that Volkswagen gives you to work on the car. This bolt here. Side. It's up a little. Get this more. There we go. Move that out of the way. And now you can pop the bottom half of your intake out. Also on the side of your air box, there's a tube that connects. You just depress the two sides and pull it, and then there's also a little rubber hose that you just pull off. Alright, so you have to remove this hose clamp and take off this pipe right here. You can remove the hose clamp with a 7mm socket. Alright, so now that I got it loosened a little bit, I can take a 7mm socket to loosen it more and pop it right off. I put this back on, I'm going to turn it upwards, because that's very annoying. Right, so now I'm going to take this T27 Torx off here. And now there's another hose clamp back here that I'm going to remove. And I'm going to be able to move this whole pipe away to get in there to remove the 3 bolts for the turbo muffler. So now that I got that rubber hose off the intercooler piping that goes onto the turbo, there are 3 Torx bolts on the turbo muffler currently that you have to remove. I believe they are T25, maybe T30, but it's very hard to see, but it's one. There's a second one underneath, and then a third one over here off to the side. Move those 3 and it should slide right off. Okay, now that I got them loose. Alright, so now I got all 3 bolts out. They're a little bit of a hassle, but you kind of just twist this a little bit. Get this out somehow, like so. Get it from the top. I'd probably be able to get it out. Alright, so it turns out you should probably remove this little plastic intake tube connector thing here. It's just a T27 that spins on. Like, you take the T27 out and then you spin it this way and it comes off. And you'll have room to take out the turbo muffler. Now if you notice on the factory one, it's got a lot of these holes in it. so that allows air to pass through and it's more baffled. This new one here is a straight through design, no holes, nothing. It's a good thing to take a little bit of the oil that's from the turbo around it and just kind of put it around the O-ring here before installing. Make sure it's not all, there's no dirt or anything in there. Now work this one around like so. It should, in theory, slide in just like that. Make sure it's seated and rotate it into place and put your bolts back in. So putting the bolts back in may be a little tricky, but I got the turbo muffler installed and I tightened all the bolts on it. They don't need to be super tight, just, you know, a little crank on it and it should be good. Now I'm going to get the turbo inlet rubber hose back on, and I will start by making sure that this here is loose enough to stretch over the turbo inlet. I'm going to slide my hose clamp onto the plastic pipe, and I'm going to work this in here like so. And I'm going to start by putting this around that pipe like so. Get the plastic turbo inlet pipe here all situated. It's going to be a little bit of a little weird, but there we go. Now we are back on like so. Make sure everything's seated correctly. Take your hose clamp and spin it around like that. Put it back over it and tighten your hose clamps here. And once you tighten your hose clamps, you can, and I guess you could put this in right now too if you really wanted. Put this back on. This goes down there. Alright guys, so that is how you install the Revo Turbo Muffler Delete on your MK8 GTI. And if you like this video and would like to subscribe for more mediocre content such as this, please do. And take care.